Okay. Just doing a little test here to see if we got everything right. Just wanted to say good morning. I just woke up. I decided today I'd do a little video after watching all and listening to all the Felger Carb, put out by, CBC, Bloomberg, and Fox Business, and Goldman Sachs, all this, last week or two, trying to totally destabilize everything in endless effort of every nation in the world to be the lowest, cheapest currency. So it's just an endless cycle that I've been watching now since Bernanke was head of the Federal Reserve. It used to be about every 3 months, and now I think it's like maybe every month and a half, or a month. Another nation around the world, devalues its currency, and then that causes another one to do the same, and it's a big vicious cycle, and pretty soon everyone's like, oh my God, and this chicken little the sky's falling crap, and you got CNBC up there going, we need leadership, and we need a bailout and all this other crap, more stimulus, Isn't it amazing that they're able to keep a straight face when they say that? When the last stimulus bailout, thing that they did, and it wasn't just one. And they still fail. They still can't, run their business, do their stuff right. They're still collapsing. Now they're trying to fight this, via the purchasing power of every nation's, citizen on the planet. And that's basically what it is. You don't see people out there, hand-to-hand combat now shooting each other, in a World War III type thing. No, it's not that. It's not a physical thing. It's more like a purchasing power world war. All the nations, they got these CNBC, Goldman Sachs types running around going, well, if we just make things more expensive and lower the purchasing power, of the dollar doing that at the same time, then, the GDP will be higher, because the GDP is the sum of all, sales in a nation's sales, worldwide, and in the nation itself. Like, oil is traded in dollars. Well, that's added into the GDP of the United States. Imagine what would happen if, oil was no longer traded in dollars. Yeah, there are those of you out there right now going, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Of course, see, we know, because we think about stuff like that. Do we know anything about, current pop music? No, of course not. But on the flip side of that, somebody in that age group, of course they know everything about, pop music. It's not intended to be an attack on pop music. It's intended to show a generational difference. And a lot of people try and demonize that, drive a wedge between those two different generations. And that's why, conquer and divide works so well, apparently, on so many levels. But anyway, I don't think the sky is falling, and I'm not going along with all these other people, that are freaked out and thinking, it's the end times. No, I don't think so, because I don't think they see this detail about, the economy. The economy is basically what I'm doing right now. I'm transmitting a video to you across basically the economy, and that economy is the camera, my computer, the internet, the modem, the everything, the electricity, to run the lighting, the AC that you might be able to hear in the background. I hope it's not too loud. All that stuff. The house, I'm paying for. The fuel I put in the car, the repair, I put on it. When I drive down to the store, I'm using the economy there too. Everything. The driveway, the street, the traffic lights. That's the economy. Okay? When you go down to the grocery store and you buy some groceries and stuff, that's all the economy too. The economy isn't just, well, this, reserve bank over here or this, big oil company over there. No, that's not true. And when they say the economy, it's everything. So this stuff about, well, the economy's going to crash. Well, I don't see it. I don't think people are going to stop using oil. I don't think people are going to stop using electricity. I don't think they're going to stop eating or drinking either. So, all that bullshit, this, oh my god, it's the end times kind of crap, for the last 2 fucking weeks, is just that, a bunch of bullshit. It's just to get more stimulus and bailout money. That's all it is. And you all know it. And those of you out there preaching so hard for it and overreacting to it and everything else, you work for them somehow, and you know it. Yet you're going to sit over and go, oh, that's a crazy conspiracy theory. That's bullshit too. It's just a guilt trip from you all so that we don't resist you or anything, because every time we resist you, it starts building this big general fucking headache from dealing with you morons. That's what makes us stop, fighting back against you, because we just get tired of this shit. It's like we're sitting there with this big, huge machine gun, and you all keep it coming. Fuck, the bodies are piling up, bigger than some of the pyramids in the Middle East, and you all keep it fucking coming. And after a while, the machine gun fire gives me a fucking headache. There you go. And that's why we stop fighting you, and that's why you all win a lot of times. You can get away with your bullshit because people don't want to think about it because it gives them a fucking headache. And I understand that. I've been there too, and I'll probably be there again, here in the not too far distant future. But right now, this morning, I have managed to tune that shit out and get a video on, where we can, think about things without all that bullshit coming in from, CNBC, Bloomberg, the financial arm of the CIA, Goldman Sachs, any number of Nancy Pelosi, California-style shitheads, and the theocratic corporatish, Sharia law types, all that shit. Save the children, vote for us, save the children, end abortion. There are a lot of you out there that are falling for that shit, and it's just amazing to me. And I look at your primaries for a fucking president, and a lot of it's a joke. The people that I think should be making it, and this goes for the last election too. The candidate I supported in the last election, they start out real good, like they're going to fight everything, and they go in there, and then something happens. It's like they pull into a side room, and someone says, hey, if you pussy out and give me a blowjob right now, I'll let you be, Secretary of State. Or something like that. I don't know what it is. They pay him off. I'm not sure what. But all of a sudden they stop fighting. And then they turn into like this televangelist preacher, type. And then I look at that and I'm like, do they notice that right as they start doing that, their poll numbers fucking collapse? Do they notice that? And I think the answer is yes. I think they do know that, but then they look in their bank account and they go, hey, I did pretty fucking good, alright. I don't give a shit anymore. I made my, $28 million, I'm out of here. I'm just on the downslope now, baby, I don't give a shit. And that's what we got up there. Meanwhile, you got, Lord Jesus freak, Jeb up there with his glasses on, go, see, this makes me look more intelligent. Vote for me, I'll save the children, I'll stop abortion. And then you got all these, young religious man-to-man idiots who are terrified of the woman getting any kind of power. And there is some truth to that, and I understand what you're afraid of. You're afraid, that we're going to have a bunch of Nancy Pelosi's, Dianne Feinsteins, and, Barbara Boxers and stuff like that in charge of our lives. And I get it, I understand that, I'm with you on that one. But I don't think we take all women out and metaphorically execute them, okay? I think that's the wrong path. And you all know that too. And the funny thing is, most of them don't want any power. So I'm not sure what the fuck you're all afraid of there. I guess you're still thinking you're in high school and you're going to be embarrassed, by your fellow high school young 18-something, 20-something-year-old male friends. I'm not sure what it is that goes through your mind there. I've talked to some of you and you're like, God said, I'm supposed to, dominate the woman and everything else. And, there's more that Reverend Jones, from the Jesus Christ Network, religious crap. Um, if you have to have religion to control the woman, then you've got issues, and maybe, you shouldn't be with that woman because she isn't your kind of guy. Trust me, there are your kind of women out there. You just need to go out and find it. You don't need to, knock it out, drug it, sedate it, chain it up, and keep it in the basement. You don't need to do that. There are plenty of women out there that are into your kind of, caveman mentality. There are. You don't believe me, but there are. There are a lot more of them than the other ones that you're so afraid of. But anyway, it's all kind of a psychological, sociological, macro societal engineering thing that I'm looking at right now. I'm not trying to control society or use it for whatever. It's like studying it, trying to predict and see where it goes, and examining it, kind of like a scientist does, with some new experiment. He looks at things to try and figure it out. He collects data off of it. And what I see going on is more and more and more indoctrination from religion, cowing down any opposition, any thinking against it, anything. Because if you're a libertarian atheist like me, well, obviously you're for murdering children. You're for a crazy, insane, Satan-worshipping society. Any number of guilt trips that you can think of. You're sitting out there right now watching this video going, man, I could think of 28 of them. I don't know why he couldn't think of 3 of them. And you know exactly what I mean. It's endless. The religio wackos are out of their minds because people are legally able to smoke marijuana here in Washington State. Trust me, everything's fine here. The world didn't end. I can still go down to the grocery store. I can still go to work. I still drive around on the roads. I've been here in my house, the last couple of days. There haven't been any wild, insane going-ons anywhere. Everything's fine. The state's making a shitload of money off of it. And they're using it to, I would prefer that it only be allowed to go toward debt payoff, but I know that's a fantasy, because most of you out there want to save the children, so it gets spent on, education, and probably, propping up pension plans, which they should be doing more than they are, and all kinds of stuff. I think they've been doing a little more with the roads up here, which is good. They need to finish 167 into the Port of Tacoma. But anyway, there's extra money, so they don't have to come to the taxpayer and rape the taxpayer over it. Okay? Which is what you all do every time you vote yes to raise taxes on anything. You pull it out of the taxpayer. You pull it out of your purchasing power of whoever you are. You might be sitting there going, well, I rent, so I don't have to worry about that shit. Yes, you do. Ultimately, you do. Because guess what? You ever wonder why your rent keeps going up? It isn't because your landlord's a shithead, although there are landlord shitheads out there. But it all comes around and gets you, one way or another. So you got to think about that. And if you're wondering where all that money's going for education, why they're constantly asking for higher taxes for education money, well, one, it goes into the general fund. It doesn't go directly to the education. The other is, do yourself a favor and look at the school boards and the education authorities in your state that are in that field of work in the education field. I'm not talking about teachers in the classroom. I'm talking about people running the system. Find out how much they're getting paid each year. And if you're smart enough to figure that out and find out, how to, see where they're getting paid and how much they're getting paid, you're going to be amazed when you compare that to what the teacher is getting paid. And you're going to be like, holy shit, they're making more than the fucking president of the United States. There you go. See, that's where that money, every time you vote yes on that, that's right, they're laughing at you, because that's where most of the money's going. Remember, Everything keeps getting worse in education all the time. That's a story you hear constantly. That's the guilt trip you hear every time. You gotta vote for that, or you're a child-hating fucking loser drunk. You know, something like that. That's what you hear. That's one of the guilt trips. Yeah, it's all to get them a pay raise. That's right. The preacher caste. Save the children. You know, that's who's in charge. That's who that money's going to. Why do you think most of them are so freaking rich? And they sit up there and they think themselves so smart. They're not smart. They're psychopaths. That's what they are. And every time they tug on your heartstring there, mommy, save the children, mommy, they laugh their way to the bank again. What you need to be doing, save the children, mommy, is actually saving the children by going out there and figuring out how to educate your children by not having to go through that goddamn public education system. You know it, but you don't want to talk about that because that gives you a headache. You need to do this great group child mind, bullshit. And you don't. You need to get your shit together and figure out your own problems and be a responsible individual. You've known that since day one and you still know it. And why aren't you doing it yet? I've talked to a lot of you women about this very subject, and if I can keep you on the subject for more than about 3 minutes before you pretend like you're offended, because you think I'm accusing you of something and thinking you're a bad person, I'm not. I'm trying to get you to solve the problem. And solving the problem is not voting yes on another, tax increase, for somebody. Solving the problem is finding out how to educate your kid without having to have everybody fucking pay for it. It isn't that difficult. You never even sat down and contemplated even trying to think about doing it on your own. And I'm not saying you got to save the universe. You got to be, Superwoman out there, and do everything on the planet and save the universe. No, you don't. But anything you can do that doesn't cause you too much hate and discontent or pain, you need to be doing it. You need to turn that goddamn pop crap off. You need to put that freaking Culture magazine down. You need to turn that reality TV garbage off, and you need to start reading books and figuring out how to do things. I mean, they're little kids, for Christ's sakes. How difficult can it be to teach them something? Do you think they're getting better quality education in school? Think about it. You got 30-something kids in class, and the teacher after roll call maybe has 28 minutes to teach, 30-something plus kids, something or other that'll stick with them. And the kids are so freaking stressed out they can't even, calm down to think for 5 minutes. Who do you think's going to give them a better education at that point? Them or you? You, of course. And see, that's kind of the purpose of this video here. Is to try and get people to disconnect from that group religious child mind thing and be responsible individuals. If people just started doing that more instead of being led along, by this save the children, religion, or this theocracy that we call, a democracy, which was supposed to be a republic, but now it's, a theocratic corporatism. And there's 85 people that argue with me on that. And it always boils back down, everything's shunted to ground, and neutralized, and pretty soon it's right back to, here's where the headache comes from. Oh, we gotta be cutting taxes, and we gotta be building more aircraft carriers, we gotta stop abortion, and we got to get those bitches back in the kitchen, pregnant barefoot, or else, religious authority is going to die and the atheists are going to rule everything, and, it'll be the end times and Satan will come back, and be raping us in the forehead and stuff, even though some people like Dennis Hastert would probably enjoy that. But that's the craziness, that just wears everyone down, because it's a great, big, huge group mass of guilt tripism that just will not be defeated, will not go away, will not fade away. There are way too many people supporting it, because all these people love to be a member of a group. Because remember back in high school, and younger than that, Did you want to be the odd man out, the weirdo, the nerd? Or did you want to be in with a cool group? And see, that's where it comes from. And that's why society is the way it is nowadays, because of that bullshit right there. A lot of you know what I'm talking about, because I see you, whispering about it sometimes, about indoctrination via the, public education system. But you and yours, not every one of you, some of you are smart enough to be individual enough to resist it, but a lot of you have been corrupted and affected by, these religious shitheads coming in and going, yeah, we need to get God back in the school, God back in the school, God back in the school. And you watch this happening to other people and you realize they're using psychological manipulation on you and guilt trips to get you to go along with them. And the more you resist, the more the pain increases. You don't want to be the nerd and the weirdo and the loser, atheist, libertarian out there, right? You want to be in with the religious right. Because that's normal. They're a bunch of fucking weirdos and losers out there. You don't want to be with that shit. They're fucking crazy. They're insane. They're imagining all the shit. We ain't doing any of that. Don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain. That's all just a bunch of bullshit. You need to be with us. We're the cool kids. See how rich we are? And you motherfuckers fall for it every time. And then when I call you out on it, you want to sit over there and go, oh, we got a fucking troll here. And then you wonder why shit stays the same. And you're watching the markets and stuff right now, and all this bullshit's going on. Goldman Sachs is, in panic mode. Everybody sell the index, sell the index, sell the index. And then they pick, 4 or 5 stocks if the market's not collapsing enough, and they go, well, we've changed these, from hold to fucking sell right now or die, and then everything starts going even more crazy. And then you tune on to CNBC, and then you hear the background music in there, and it's like the end times, tense music. Oh my God, the world's ending, the world's ending, the world's ending. It's they're doing that kind of psychological manipulation to you, and you stupid willing fucks are falling for it. Just like you did back in 2007 when your idiot savant Bush too got in there and took power, and he's up there, preaching all this shit about religion. You all going, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. God is supposed to be in charge of every fucking thing. And here we are again. It just keeps happening. I just explained it to you. You're sitting there going right now, I don't fucking understand anything, which is what you're programmed to respond to that with. And you do it every fucking time. Oh, this guy's just a troll. I need to turn this shit off right now. That's right, you need to turn this off right now. You need to get back with your preacher, man. You need to get on your knees and take the fucking cock of God back in your mouth again. Because that's what you're into. You like it when they're doing that to you. You like it. Then you wonder why you see all these politicians and stuff and officials in other categories, constantly getting caught and revealed, that they're fucking little kids. And up until that point, they're the biggest, religious, super, people on the planet. They love the children. They love the children. They love the children. They're bragging about it right out in front with you. And you all are like, yeah, I want to be like that too. I want to be with a group. And I rage on in some of the chats when I listen to you people doing that shit. And then you get some stoop, some brain dead zombie under the control of Reverend Jones of the Jesus Christ Network. I say Jesus Christ Network, GCN Network. Yeah, Alex Jones, that's who I'm talking about. One of his stoops in the chat thing, blabbing all the time. Hardly anyone can get a word in, and he's up there going, we gotta save the children, and we can't get anyone in that ain't a fucking Jesus freak, hardcore Jesus freak, runaway spender, because, goddamn, we're nuclear armed, and if we got rid of half of our aircraft carrier fleet, we'd be defeated next week. You can't get through that shit, because that's who's in charge. That person is a dupe. And he's willing to be that way. He likes being that way. He likes it because he has been taught to behave that way. That is normal to him. That is a cool kid to him. And this is what I can't get across to most of you. You're almost there. You're right there on the edge of it, of seeing it. And you get there and you're like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can handle being an individual. Oh shit. I had to fucking think for myself and be a real person, and oh my god, I fucking wouldn't be a member of the group anymore. You know, that kind of shit. That's who you are. You're almost right there seeing it. And if you just fucking had the courage to fucking, be your own person, 10 minutes later you'd be like, why in the fuck was I ever like that? What an idiot I was. And I try and tell you that in 100 different fucking ways. I just experiment in the chats and in the side chat. Listen to you guys on the YouTube chats. I try millions of different ways. Intellectually. With wording and structure and paragraphs and thoughts through, words and ideas in there. Trying any number of different ways to see if one of them will get you to see that. And once in a while, maybe 1 out of maybe 10 people, I get a sense of somebody being like, yeah, that's fucking right. That's true. And it is that simple. It isn't that complicated at all to be your own individual. And that's all you got to be to defeat these people. And I don't know what the fuck else I can do. I don't know how much higher I can get with this and make it that much simpler when people are so willing to kneel down and take that cock of God into their mouth. Why do you all keep doing that? Why? Do you not know that empowers them, that encourages them, that makes them stronger, that makes them feel like they are your master and lords? Why do you keep doing that for them? Stop it. Stop doing that. But you all won't. Because you think I don't know what the fuck is in your mind at that point. I don't know what you're thinking. I've tried to figure it out. But you all keep doing it. And every fucking one of you that are doing it, you'll tell me straight out. If you were in the room with me right now, we'd be in a fight. You all be telling me I'm full of shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is crazy talk. You need to shut the fuck up. I'm offended. I'm offended. I'm offended. How dare you talk about my religion or my family values or anything? I'm fucking offended. Yeah, that's right. You people. You're the reason shit is the way it is. You get it yet? You are the reason for the way shit is. How do I get this through to you? Because I know some of you right now, you still don't get it. You're still not there. You're going, man, this guy's a crazy ass fucking troll. So, you know the truth of it. After you probably already turned the video off, after the first 5 minutes. But anyway, who knows? But we'll put this on and see, what kind of comments I get. Go ahead, say whatever you want. I'm a Bill of Rights kind of guy. Okay, I'm an atheist, libertarian, pro-Bill of Rights kind of guy. I'm not going to censor what the fuck you say on the comments. If you just get on there and you hit your plus key and just like 48 rows of pluses, yeah, I'm going to delete shit like that. But, educated, alive, in the mind kind of, comments, feel free. I'll respond to them on there if I think there's somebody there, that's actually just not a religious tard, responding like his preacher man is trained him to do. But anyway, hopefully we get some interesting conversations and stuff. And if I ever do figure out how to do one of the goddamn YouTube chats to get it to work right, I can't figure out how to. I can set one up, but it doesn't seem to work right. But anyway, if someone could walk me through that one day, probably some of my friends that I've done chats with. we could figure this shit out, and I could do a couple of those, man. I could do some really rambunctious, and we could be as free and open in those chats as we wanted to be. If we want to tell each other, to go to hell, twice, and the Lord Jesus is my, saint and savior, and the atheist be on the other side, and we fight it out, hey, that's cool. I'm bored. You're probably bored too. Let's do it. So, anyway, I just thought I'd put that out this morning, and hopefully the audio and everything in this video is good, and maybe I'll do a few more of these in the future. Anyway, you all have a good one.